So Andy the Brit's wife's brother lives near here. He says that there is a mower around. It's a Troy Bilt with a Honda engine on it. Cool. So my battery ran out. So here it is. Like I said, Andy the Brit's wife's brother. Got some 20W50. That's usually like gear oil for transmissions and stuff. Riding mower transmissions, 20W50. Wheels seem to be rubbing on this, which is very unusual because usually the wing nuts will go on the inside and that will be on the other side. It's a Honda engine, GCV160. Wheels look like it's in good shape. Let's take a look underneath. Oh, look at that. The blades are there, but then the handles are protruding inside. That's no good. All right, so I got this in front of my garage, and as you guys can see, this has been jigged. They've got some kind of wire going on here holding the throttle. So I don't know what that's all about, but we're definitely not going to keep the jigging. I'll have to jig it my own way if it needs be. But it looks like it's he's been having trouble with the throttle. So we're just going to take this off because we want to try to figure it out on our own. But now we have an indication that this might be the throttle problem. Okay, got the handles worked out. Nice and tight. I added a bolt in there. This was the fuel shutoff was on, so now I turned it off, which means it should be filling fuel. Has some fuel in it. The choke lever here. Gonna move it to choke. Let's give it a couple of pulls and see what happens. Bail handle seems okay. Okay, so it won't start. Let's try blowing some stuff in here. I didn't blow anything, but the choke was off. So that choke thing. Okay, so you know what that is, right? So it starts fine on choke, but then the way this auto choke is, I guess it's sort of auto choke because it automatically slides from choke and slowly moves so that the choke plate opens by itself. Now what happens when we allow the flap to go all the way open? It wants to choke itself and it bogs down and it wants to die. Reason why is because it's getting too much air through the jets that's not mixing well with the fuel. So what's the story? Basically, it only runs on half choke well, you know? So the carburetor's dirty. I'm sure after you clean the carburetor, it'll be just fine. I think the reason why the guy had the throttle here was that if you adjusted this while this was wide open, you could probably get it to run a little bit better. He was keeping these things together so that it would run, you know, but badly, I'm sure, you know. So that's the problem. I think you just need a carb clean and that's it. That would be a huge score if that was it. So the Kohler MTD that I have, I took the bag off of that one and I put it on this one because I figure I can get more money for this one than that one because this is a Honda engine. So it fits perfectly. Now if we could just get this to run off of choke, that would be great. I'm gonna try to get away with a quick and dirty because, as you know, this thing runs just fine except when the auto choke lever goes off of choke and goes to full open. It doesn't run right and it wants to stop. But if it's around the middle, half choke and full choke, it runs just fine. It runs the best when it's at middle choke, which means that the bowl's probably just clogged with some stuff, which is the reason why I think this will run it runs just fine. We just need to drop the bowl and try to get away with it quick and dirty. If not, we'll have to take the whole carburetor off. So let's get some 10mm bolts and take that off. I'm sorry, 10mm socket to take off the 10mm bolts. Japanese engines and Kohlers are 10mm mostly. Oh, this is the pain in the butt one. Maybe I shouldn't pull it out because this one, if you pull it out, the spacer comes off, carburetor and everything. It's really difficult to get off. What if I hold it and just take the bolts out? I know something's going to happen now. I remember. I don't deal with Honda engines too much, but when I do, I lose my mind. It's like a big sandwich. You got to put it on just right, otherwise it won't go on right. You see, there's a gasket right there. There's the breather. And it's a sandwich. See, this goes here. You got to hold there. There's a there's a spacer over here. It all has to go on. You know what? I just took it all off, so I might as well just take it off. The orientation. Let me remember the orientation. This was like that. Okay. That's gonna fall, Henry. Shut up. This goes like that. Oh man. Disconnect this. I mean, it's off. We might as well just take it all off and clean it right? I was trying to get away with a little less work by just cleaning the bowl, but the whole sandwich is off, so might as well. Might as well. Golly. Golly! I'm gonna have to loosen. I'm gonna have to take this fuel line off. The fuel line off. You could do the fuel shut off, but because it's pivoted over here, the gas doesn't go down, so it's fine. I hate these clamps they have here, the little wired ones. Not very precise. Okay, so let me just remember. Throttle linkage goes into the inner hole. Small little wire goes in the outer hole. As you can see from this carburetor, it's full of dirt on the top, on the side. No surprise that maybe some dirt got into here. Might be kind of dirty. So my neighbor across the street, the other one, Kevin, the big guy, Suffolk County cop, he comes over. Every time he comes over, I know what it's about. He's having problems with his weed whacker. First time he came to me, he had a Husqvarna push mower. He pulled the ripcord out. I'm not surprised. Guy benches like 700 pounds. The guy's huge. He's like the Hulk. Anyway, he pulled the cord right out. I fixed his cord for him. I'm his neighbor. I'll do him a solid, whatever. Hey, he bought me a dozen donuts. You know what I mean? Anyway, he comes over here just now. He says, "Am I interrupting your filming?" I'm like, "No, it's off. What's up?" Of course, he's got a problem with his Husqvarna weed whacker. You know, usually people who like a particular brand, they stick with that particular brand. And he told me that when his weed whacker's going on, it doesn't really spin very fast. So I said, doesn't spin fast or doesn't spin at all? He's like, sometimes it spins slow, sometimes it doesn't spin at all. So when it doesn't spin at all, means that the shaft to the spinning part came off of the part that the shaft to the engine, you know, how it connects, just slipped out. No big deal, right? Open it up, slip it back in, and it'll be good. But he said it's kind of spins slowly. So if it spins slowly, it's its clutch, right? Because the clutch is, at any RPM, it's not engaging the springs to open up to grip the thing to turn it. So that's not a huge problem either. New clutch is like, what, $25, $30, something like that. So I told him what to do. And then he was telling me he's going to get a Toro Time Master. I'm like, that's like $1,500. He's like, about $13. I'm like, what a hell of a machine. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. So it's all full of dirt and stuff. I'm going to blow this out first before I open this bowl. So I used my air compressor, blew out this area. Looks a lot nicer. Blew out the carburetor. It's not dirty anymore. I mean, it's dirty, but it's just not full of that stuff. Anyway, so look. 10 millimeter. Easy. And there's no jet in here. It's just a nut. You're a nut. All right, here we go. You guys ready to see what's in here? Let's see why it only runs on half choke. Hello. Yeah, I want to block it with my finger because I want you guys to be able to see what's in it. I think of you, the subscriber. There we go. You ready? Are you ready? Huh. It's not bad. It's very clean. It's got some, I don't know, sandy stuff in there. But the gas looks good. Gas looks good. I'm going to pour the top part of this in here, so much of it. So there you go. That's all that was in there. Not too bad. Which means I'm going to have to blow out all these holes and stuff. The jets and stuff. Because I don't think that's enough. Well, it might be. To make it run like that. So I'm just going to take my time. It's a beautiful day out. Getting some vitamin D. Or A. D. Sunlight. D? D's milk, isn't it? Just clean the bowl, and now I'm trying to extract the main jet. I always strip it. I'm going super slow, and I think I'm turning it. Either I'm turning it or I'm stripping it. I don't know. Looks like I might have it though, which is great, because I always strip this damn thing. So the main jet is where you're gonna have the most problems. If any of those little tiny holes are clogged, it's not gonna run right. The trick is trying to get it out of here too. Sometimes it's loose in there, but it just won't come out. I'll have to fiddle with this for a while, fellas. In the meantime, when I get this out and clean it, I'm gonna blow carb cleaner all the way through all the holes here. I'm gonna remove this Phillips screw in there. I think that's a pilot jet. That's important too, especially for choke. This damn thing would just come out. Look, you can see it. It just won't move. Oh! Hey, look at that. Get one of these things, twisty tie, and it's clear. Ain't nothing wrong with this jet. All that's in here is a nut, is a screw. Sometimes you're not supposed to poke stuff like that because there might be a diaphragm in there, but I doubt it. Let's see if this goes anywhere. Doesn't seem like it goes anywhere. Used my air compressor, blew everything, every hole, every orifice, put the jet back in, put the screw back in, blew it again, went through with carb spray again, blew it back out again. I'm pretty confident that this is a clean carburetor. Clean the bowl. It ought to work. If not, it's one of these linkages that are bad. Definitely not this. This is a clean carburetor. Now to get the sandwich together and put this back on. Okay, fellas, here we go. I think I put it on right. The way you do it is you take the cover, put the two studs in, hold the two studs in place. Put the gasket, put the carburetor, put the other gasket, the heat gasket, and then the spacer. Connect it first, the linkages, slip it on. So a little choke thing, you have to make sure that's catching. And it is, because when you choke it, flap closes. When you open it, flap opens. So it's on choke now, first time, right? As you can see, it kind of moves by itself to that area. And then I guess when you start it, it'll open. Fuel should be flowing. And there's fuel in there, not a lot, but enough to start, hopefully. What do you guys think? You gonna run right? Let's find out. Good luck. Okay, as you guys see, it does run when it's off choke completely, but it surges. It isn't unless you kind of move the choke lever to about halfway, and that's when it runs perfectly, you know? So I'm thinking the carburetor's still dirty. There's too much air, not enough fuel for the amount of air. So it's the jet that needs to be allowing more fuel to get in, if you will. I'll play with it. Okay, trial and error. Tighten that little wire on the throttle. goes from the governor lever to the throttle linkage. Just pulled it a little bit. Also, I moved this spring from that hole to that hole. Loosened the tension on this one. Pretty complex if you ask me. I mean, why can't it just run right? You know what I mean? That's why I don't like working on Honda engines. It's so over-engineered. If it runs good, great. But if you got problems, man, pull your hair out trying to figure it out, you know? And I'm gonna shine this up and take some pictures of it, and I'll probably sell this for $175. It's a Honda engine. Nice bagger, big wheels, not self-propelled, which is why I'm not asking $225. You know what I mean? I should get $175 for that. $150 at least, you know? We'll see what happens. Thanks all for joining me on this carburetor clean, getting this Honda running. Found it on the street. Got it for free. That's right, free. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to give me a like. Also, comment below. Subscribe. Remember, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's free, right? Also, hit that little bell. That way you'll get post notifications whenever there's a new video and you won't miss out on any of them. Remember to follow my Instagram and Facebook, as well as if you'd like to donate $1 or $2, paypal.me/mowersandblowers. Really appreciate all the support. Also, to keep the videos coming every day, support the channel. Bye.